Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger.
We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
I hate Charlie Kirk. I think he's actually a Satan spawn. But
we're going to run right over him, aren't we?
There are people who know how to fight. Get out of their damn way.
This is the guy from last video, Jacob, who was celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, and then he got doxxed on the internet. And it turns out he lives at home with his mum. And he's not very happy about the fact he's been doxxed. In fact, he said he'd called the police, even though he hates the police, which is kind of ironic. But anyway, now one thing I have noticed, which is absolutely insane, I'm seeing more people on my timeline celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, a father of 2 young kids and a husband, assassinated in front of thousands of people. I'm seeing more people celebrate this than I saw liberals melting down after Trump was elected. And that to me is absolutely crazy. But these people are finally facing consequences for the hate they're spewing. And they're not very happy about that. Check this out.
Fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my fucking job. Now I have nothing but this. I have nothing but this website. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. Ah! 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 Ah!
Concerned men with cherry biomconadiable inti cherry.
Fuck!
Concerned men where is cherry. Men where is cherry.
Oh my god.
Now this isn't the only person facing consequences, this is happening everywhere. And here's another woman who was celebrating his death. In fact, she said what happened to Charlie was all consequence of his own actions. And now she's been doxxed and is worried about her own safety.
So a lot of people are getting death threats today, including me. And they posted pictures of my house because they know where I live. So that's cool. Just want to make it real clear that I've never had any thoughts to unalive myself.
All I can say is, I guess it's just a consequence of your own actions, right? Not that I agree with doxing people, because I don't want to be as bad as the liberals, but I mean, this is what happens, right? Now the suspect is currently in custody. They found the rifle, they found the bullets. One of the bullets had written on it, "Hey fascist, catch."
Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, !" Catch, !
And I'm actually seeing certain people in the media saying, where did he learn to call conservatives fascists? I wonder.
Tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Stochastic terrorism is, right, when a leader uses language that is more likely than not to radicalize.
Democracy is on the ballot still.
Democracy is on the ballot.
Democracy is on the ballot.
Democracy's on the ballot.
Democracy's on the ballot.
Democracy is literally on the ballot.
Democracy is on the ballot for this election.
Vice President Harris has made very clear that democracy is on the ballot here.
Democracy, of course, is, as the president likes to say, on the ballot.
Terrorism experts call this stochastic terrorism, where somebody has been so demonized that it creates this heightened risk of lone wolf actors.
Donald Trump is turning this nation into Nazi Germany. You now have a president, as you said, talking about exterminating Latinos.
A re-election of Donald Trump could mean the end of democracy.
This would be the end of America.
An actual Trump-led wannabe empire is the end of democracy.
Stochastic terrorism is a way of using language that is clearly meant to incite some percentage of the people listening for a violent purpose.
What does that potentially do for unbalanced people out there?
He is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
We have to start calling his supporters racist as well. That MAGA symbol has come to represent something. It is the new Nazi symbol. It is the new hood.
Because they're not a party. Right? They're Sinn Féin to the IRA. They're the PLO to Hamas. They're a dime store front for a terrorist movement.
The Republican Party is basically a domestic terrorist cell at this point.
and they should be treated as such.
There are elements of the GOP that are starting to look like the jihadists.
Not a political party. They're a white nationalist movement. They're a fascist threat to our nation. That's not hyperbolic. That's academic.
Would have once seemed hyperbolic, but it increasingly does feel like the Republican Party has become a death cult, and it's all about...
We cannot be allowed to be cowed into submission by fear and intimidation. That's exactly what the result is that's being sought by people who do not want us to be able to express our First Amendment free speech rights, to be able to express how we feel about things. The one thing we cannot do is we cannot take that and we cannot make it into an act of violence. End of story.
I can't believe these people are really trying to make this about themselves. Charlie Kirk, one of the most prominent conservative figures in America, was just assassinated in front of his wife and kids and thousands of people watching. And what's the media headline right here? The far-right response to Kirk assassination raises alarms. So normal Americans are horrified about what just happened, and they're the ones being painted as the danger, not the people cheering. No, apparently the problem is the right's reaction. And then this woman says, we cannot be allowed to be cowered into submission by fear and intimidation. We have to protect our free speech rights. So she's worried about her free speech after Charlie Kirk, a conservative figure, was just gunned down for exercising his by a man who literally wrote, "Hey fascist, catch," on one of the bullets. And for the last 10 years, the left has been labelling anybody they disagree with as fascist. And for the last 10 years, it's the left who's been censoring, deplatforming, silencing conservatives. And now after an assassination on somebody on the right, they're saying they're the ones who feel intimidated by the far-right response. But they won't say a word about people reacting like this.
Breaking news! Master debater of college girls has been shot. Oh! Don't know what it's looking like, but that poor master debater, you know?
Well, now that Charlie Kirk's gone, Miss Candace Owens, I suggest you stay home with your white baby and your white husband and shut the fuck up and stay out of the limelight. Okay? Stay safe out there, girl. You gonna need it.
Guys, never give up on your fucking dreams. If you think about it hard enough, if you really put your mind to it, that evil man that you want to die, he will die. That's why you can never end your own life, because then you're gonna miss out on days like this, days like Charlie Kirk bleeding out in front of us. Like, you can't miss things like that. Like, you really can't. And if you keep manifesting all the evil men that you want to die, they will. Like, you just have to be patient. Like, the universe is gonna do exactly what it needs to do for you, but you have to be patient. You have to live. Like, please stay alive so that you can witness days like this. Like, yeah, like, you could check out early, but then you would miss the day that orange man dies, and that's gonna be a funny ass day on Twitter.
So if you're sat at home manifesting people that you don't like to die, then I got news for you. You're a witch. Canadian leftist Devin Cassidy, who said this:
Charlie Kirk got shot and he's dead. Finally, somebody with a gun, which is almost everybody in the fucking States, grew a pair and fucking went and shot somebody on the right side. Thank you. Can we keep this up, please?
She has now been fired, as is this person here.
I got fired! I got me fired from my job! I woke up and told myself the shit from the Charlie Kirk shit from yesterday. What the fuck? I gotta pay my rent! What the fuck, y'all? I thought y'all was gonna not give me fired when y'all did.
Bitches, let's all join hands and bow our heads in thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk. Thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
This woman got doxxed, her husband's business got exposed, and it's now received about 1,000 one-star reviews. So she fucked around and found out.
And if you want to talk about language that precipitates this kind of behavior, language that may in some way influence people, then you're going to have to start at the top. You're going to have to start at the top. You're going to have to start with a president of the United States who told police officers, you don't have to be nice when you're arresting people. President of the United States who came right here and right at that podium where the speaker is, the podium just below the speaker, and called Democrats lunatics. It was the same night that I was evicted from the joint session of Congress.
Have you noticed what the left say about the right when you actually break it down, okay, it's laughable. All he has to say is, oh, the president said to the police that you don't have to be nice when you arrest criminals. Now compare that to what the left have been saying. I mean, here's Oxford Union's new president calling the right cancers that must be taken out by any means necessary.
To effectively create change in the world we desire. And side prop will argue that at times there is simply nothing else that can be required other than violent retaliation. And this is a view I wholeheartedly agree with. The view that some institutions are too broken, too aggressive, too oppressive to be reformed. Like cancers of our society, they must and they should be taken down by any means necessary.
According to the left, that's perfectly okay.
They may not be the majority, but the louder voices in our politics are, of course, engaging in blame for one another and ratcheting up the rhetoric rather than ratcheting it down, talking about the radical lunatic left and that left is evil and the left is this and that, while ignoring the fact that, of course, violence has played out across the political spectrum in recent years.
So now it's a problem to call liberals who are celebrating things like this as radical, right? That's a problem. In fact, let me read you this, right? I'm going to show you something. So this is Dean Withers. He's like a well-known left-wing podcaster, political commentator, and when the news broke, he was crying on his live stream, and his supporters condemned him for it. This is his response, okay? He said, I've seen a lot of conversation on the internet condemning me for crying in response to the news today. I hate that this is needed, but I want to share specifically what made me emotional to the point of tears. He said, right after the news broke that Kirk was dead, my first thought was his 3-year-old daughter and wife were there and watched their father/husband violently die by his jugular vein being blown open by a gunshot, bleeding to death on the spot. And B, the fact that my best friend Parker was there in person less than 20 feet away and witnessed this all go down. Now I just want to say, the fact that this guy had to apologize for not being happy about an assassination tells you everything you need to know. The left is completely done. Like, they're finished. You shouldn't have to justify your tears over the death of a young father to your audience, and if you do, then I think your audience is the problem, and there's something seriously wrong with these people. Maybe he should think about what side he represents and who his audience really is. And here's an even more well-known streamer basically saying Charlie brought this on himself.
These people have played a formative role in Charlie Kirk's situation. He has played a formative role in his own demise by playing a part in a media landscape, in a media environment that normalizes this death and destruction.
Yeah, so now you're going to blame Charlie for getting shot by a lunatic. And this is what his chat was saying at the time, basically celebrating what had happened, telling him, oh, debate the corpse, because apparently Hassan was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk in a few weeks, saying, oh, debate one. So yeah, these people are sick. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. And I just want to say, I wish more people was like this young man right here.
Wait, don't scroll. I wanted to come on here and talk about the death of someone I looked up to, Charlie Kirk. And I wanted to say that it is disrespectful how people are making Fortnite memes and talking bad about him like he was a horrible person. All he did was have boldness in his faith with Jesus Christ. Like, you guys are so mean to people just because they have beliefs. We, as Christians, we respect you for your beliefs, but we tell you what's wrong and what's right, righteously. But you do not need to be making fun of him because a tragedy has happened. That's all I want to come on here to say is it's blatantly rude and disrespectful to be talking about someone's death like he's just a piece of trash. He has a family, he has kids, he has a wife. You guys want someone to respect you if you got shot, right? If you passed away, you would not want anyone to be talking bad about you. And I saw a video, I saw someone making fun of his wife too. Like, that's just horrible and rude. And today is a very special day to me because I hit 14,000 followers, but I don't even want to celebrate that because I just feel guilty that someone I looked up to passed away. And I'm still able to be on this earth. That's how grateful you have to be. So just stop making fun of him and just go. Like, just stop making fun of him. It's not even funny at all.